Welcome to This Explainer. We're diving straight in today. We are looking at a deeply profound and personal set of source documents, journals, recovery notes, and testimonies from a man named Corey. Now, the best way for us to really grasp the gravity of this isn't for me to just analyze it from the outside. To truly understand how I survived and built my business today, I need to take you inside my mind. I'll be speaking in the first person, taking you right into my headspace at the exact ages when absolutely everything changed.
I am 4 years old. When you're that little and an adult pays attention to you, you just trust them, right? Completely. But then, I realized something is terribly wrong. The person who befriended me, he's a monster. Somebody lied to me big time. And just like that, my childhood is over.
So, here is the roadmap of my survival. Going from a terrorized toddler at age 4 to numbing that pain in my 30s, experiencing a profound spiritual deliverance at 46, finally diagnosing the trauma at 52, and then where I am today. Let's start right at the beginning.
Part 1. Age 4. Stolen Safety.
Age 4. My mom is working the night shift, so I'm left with someone I genuinely thought was a friend. But man, when the lights go out, the nightly abductions begin. I'm taken into my mom's bed. I am beaten. I am literally suffocated until I just stop fighting. I'm just a 4-year-old kid. I have absolutely no idea why this is happening to me.
I am so incredibly scared, but in my tiny 4-year-old brain, the survival logic kicks in. I know I have to hide what he's doing to me. If I tell the truth, this monster is going to hurt or kill the only family I have. So, I make this promise to myself. I will save my entire family or I will die trying. I just have to learn to stay completely unseen.
I have to hide from anything good. I literally learned to miss out on having fun just to stay out of sight. I'm forced to tell these half-truths. If he makes a mess in the bed, he blames it on me, and I have to look the adults right in the eye and agree, just to survive the day, knowing the whole cycle is going to repeat that night.
And as those days blur into years, my developing brain is completely reshaped. It's not just a bad memory we're talking about, it's the permanent loss of safety. The actual molecular mechanisms in my brain that deal with feeling safe, they're damaged. I am forced into this permanent alarm state, a hyper-awareness of impending doom that literally filters my entire consciousness as I grow up.
Part 2. Age 30s. Numbing the wolves.
Okay, I'm in my 30s now. I'm working underground in a coal mine. It is demanding, dangerous, totally exhausting work. And all the while, my mind is constantly being hunted by what I call the wolves. It's this unbearable weight of unprocessed childhood trauma. Now, I always steered clear of drugs. I wouldn't even take a Tylenol, just trying to keep my brain sane. But the wolves, they're relentless. And I am just so tired.
The math of addiction is honestly terrifying. At first, I'm prescribed 120 opioids a month for physical pain, but I actually pride myself on taking only 2 or 3 pills a month just to keep those wolves at bay. It gives me this instant feeling of relief from the trauma. But you know how it goes. The space between needing that trauma to go away just gets shorter and shorter. Eventually, opioids entirely consume my life. I escalate to chewing 2, swallowing 4, and snorting 3 Lortabs every single day just to be able to face going down into the mine.
This addiction forces me to build massive defensive walls. I'm absolutely terrified that if I let people see my open wounds, I'll be demoralized and completely destroyed. The drugs create this massive lie that everything is totally fine, while on the inside, I am literally drowning in a trauma that I don't even have a name for yet.
Part 3. Age 46. The Suicidal Spirit.
46 years. I really want that number to sink in for a second. For exactly 46 years, I wake up with a metaphorical gun to my head, enduring the daily torture of that childhood trauma just playing over and over and over in my mind. Even as I try to get clean, when you stop filling that void, everything comes crashing down hard. For 5 years in recovery, I'm stuck in this cycle, wanting to die because the trauma in my head is so permanent and so loud.
But right in the middle of that absolute rock-bottom darkness, these profound spiritual encounters start happening. Jesus actually starts showing me visions of what happened when I was a kid. I realized that when I was 4 and I was blacking out from the pain, I wasn't just unconscious. I was there with him. He would hold my hand and we'd walk and talk in grassy meadows. He was holding my hand through the absolute worst of it.
And this leads to a massive turning point, deliverance. God totally takes away that evil, suicidal spirit that had been torturing me for 46 years. I can remember the exact day. I can remember the exact feeling. Once that spirit is lifted, it finally gives me the mental space and the free knowledge to understand what had actually happened to me and to begin true, real healing.
Part 4. Age 52. Naming the trauma.
I am 52 years old, and I finally have a name for the chaos. The crucial distinction I learn is the difference between standard PTSD and cPTSD, complex PTSD. See, cPTSD happens while the brain is still developing. So that trauma didn't just happen to my 4-year-old brain. My brain actually formed around it. The trauma became a rooted part of my brain's very foundation. My brain functions in an incredibly complex way when it comes to memory, pain, trust, disappointment, deception, and distress. Every single thought and action I have has to be filtered through this complex cPTSD lens first. And understanding this, it's a real game changer. It's the key to finally making sense of my normal. It's the missing puzzle piece I'd been looking for decades.
Part 5. Today, truth and business.
Today, I am 10 years clean. I run Corey's Homework, LLC, and the way I run my business is a direct reflection of my healing. My company is actually built on rescuing stalled projects because I know exactly what it feels like to be trapped, helpless, and completely left in the dark. Our core rules, valuing urgency and honesty, absolutely zero ghosting, predictable processes, these aren't just corporate slogans to me. They're literal survival mechanisms turned into a professional standard.
Think about the contrast here. In my childhood, the defining moment was being lied to big time. I was forced to live in utter chaos and half-truths. Today, in my business, I demand the exact opposite. Truth over comfort, no hidden numbers, no fuzzy estimates. I provide clear, daily proof of work to my customers because I flat out refuse to allow deception or chaos into the environments I control today. For me, trust is holy ground.
I tell my story so others know they aren't alone. Because for so long, I was treading through waters I thought nobody else had ever gone through. But if you're out there and you've been through something really bad and you honestly don't think life is ever going to get better, I am speaking to you right now as a survivor who made it out to the other side. I promise you, it gets better. You just have to keep going.
So, we've walked through the timeline, the trauma, the addiction, the spiritual deliverance, and the radical integrity of a life completely rebuilt from the ground up. The sources we explored in this explainer show us that no matter how deep the water gets, there is absolute hope and healing on the other side. So my final question to you is this: if you are treading deep waters today, will you just keep going?